I can sit here and tell you all the ways in which Hillary Clinton ducked and dodged and didn't really answer the questions, but it doesn't matter. She took questions from reporters. There's a news flash. First time in 28 days, she actually spent less than 5 minutes talking to the press out in Iowa. Why the former Secretary of State felt the need to go almost a month without engaging with the media is hard for me to figure out. Yes, we all know she doesn't like the press, probably knew she was going to be asked about the emails on the Clinton Foundation, but she let the pressure build up. And I think the noise in the media and some Republicans were starting to pick up on this had gotten so deafening about Hillary won't take the questions, Hillary's in the bunker, that she and her campaign had to do something. And the truth is, having been in public life for 25 years, going back to when she was First Lady of Arkansas, she's not bad at answering questions. She mostly knows how to do this. So whatever critique that I or any other pundit on the planet can offer of the way in which Hillary Rodham Clinton answered those questions, it beats a storyline saying the 29th day and she's still in hiding. So I'm hoping that she will take more questions more often rather than turning it into one of these sort of, once a month specials for TV. All right, so she was asked about the foreign donations to the Clinton Foundation. Did she engage on the question of foreign donations? No, she didn't. She said she's very proud of what the Clinton Foundation has done. I'll let the American people make their own judgments. Totally finessed it. Game, set, match, Hillary. What about all the money that she and her husband have been making? That new financial disclosure coming out showing they had made about $25 million, mostly in speaking fees, just since the beginning of 2014. Well, obviously, Bill and I have been blessed. That's her code for we're really, really rich and you're not. But we've never forgotten where we have come from. Interesting. All right. Then, I wrote yesterday about the tangled tale involving Sid Blumenthal, former pro-Clinton journalist, former Clinton White House aide, and a close friend of Hillary Clinton's for a long time. The Obama administration wouldn't let her hire Blumenthal to State Department, so he was sending her back-channel emails, which we now have thanks to the New York Times, liberal media, holding Hillary Clinton accountable in this case. And they're all about Libya. At the same time, Blumenthal, who's also being paid by the Clinton Foundation, is trying to do business with Libya through some business associates. That didn't pan out. The question was so poorly constructed. Well, what should the American people conclude about the fact that you were having these emails with your friend Sid Blumenthal? Didn't even mention Libya in the question. So she gets to say, well, I don't like being in a bubble and I have a lot of old friends and it's good for me to hear from them. It doesn't have to deal with Libya, doesn't have to deal with conflict of interest questions, just swats it away because, in this case, the reporter didn't pin her down. And then, of course, she had the Iraq question and handled it better than Jeb Bush did. Very short. I made a mistake. I mean, she said that before. She had to say it in 2008 in voting for the war resolution that George W. Bush wanted Congress to pass in 2003. But bing, bam, boom. I made a mistake. If we had had all the intelligence that we knew of later and all of that. And then finally, Hillary Clinton is asked about the emails and also whether it was a conflict of interest in her giving paid speeches, meaning speeches for what, $200,000 and more a pop, in the run-up to announcing she's running for president. On that, she says the following. The answer to the first is no. End of discussion. And the second one is, I repeatedly have said I want those emails out. She probably would like them out sooner than, a couple of weeks before the Iowa caucuses. So she was in control in part because she spent about 4.5 minutes taking these questions. There wasn't time for follow-ups. The questions weren't constructed in a way that was able to pin her down. Look, this is the way it works. Candidates always have the advantage in controlling the timing and the format of when they will answer questions from journalists. But it is so much better to do that, at least forget about the press corps and the press corps being frustrated by not having access to Hillary Clinton. Voters get to see her taking actual questions in real time instead of just going to an endless series of scripted and pre-screened events. That is good for the process, and if Hillary and her campaign come to their senses, they'll realize it's good for their campaign as well.